good soup.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Bo Oliver, joined today by Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and today we will be previewing Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2, no title. They've been keeping the titles under wraps. What do you think it's called, Jon Dies?
Yeah, we've always saw the titles that kind of give meaning to the episode. You can always point to a certain scene or even multiple. Sometimes it's a double entendre. But they're never like too spoilery, where if we found out a couple days earlier, we'd be like, oh my god, Tyrion did what? No. It would end up being like Dragonglass, and like 2 scenes in the episode or 3 would reference Dragonglass, or it would be used in an important way.
Murder. That's how the Game of Thrones titles work.
It should just end with a whodunit.
The Game of Thrones clue?
Yeah.
Boy.
Winterfell.
You know what?
That's kind of like Dance of Dragons, right?
Kinda, yeah. It really is, and then we'll never know.
When I was a child, my brother would tell me a bedtime story about the man who murdered our father. About all the things we would do to that man. He never should have trusted Cersei.
You never should have either.
Death. It's got many faces. I look forward to seeing this one.
How long do we have? Before the sun comes up tomorrow.
And this preview video begins with Jaime, and obviously the last episode ended with Jaime arriving in Winterfell and seeing Bran Stark, and we all speculated on what's going to be that interaction between them. And now it looks like he's on trial. He's standing in the middle, and we have Daenerys, Jon, and Sansa on the main table. Jon on the left, Daenerys in the middle, Sansa on the right. And on the right side, we have Jon's allies, Davos, Lyanna Mormont, Jon Royce. Let me just say, Jon Royce, one of my favorites. I'm glad he's in Season 8. Alice Karstark and Brienne. And on the left side, we have Tyrion, who's standing. Then we have Varys, Missandei, and Jorah. Yeah. So Tyrion's almost positioned as the intermediary between Daenerys and Jaime.
Quick question. You know when they say, like, Nikolai Coster-Waldau is making X amount of dollars per episode?
Mm-hmm.
Does he get that for episode 1? Because that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, if he's in it, yeah, definitely.
Nice. Good for you.
I think they get paid for the season, though.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. We'll have to...
I don't know why. You just said that, like, yeah, Jamie was in the episode, and I realized he was in it for a split second.
Right.
And I read an article about the wages for the season. I'm like, not a bad gig.
Right. No, definitely. Well, Jon Snow, are you kidding me? Season 6 just laid on a table for 2 episodes.
That's true. So it seems like he's kind of being put through a pseudo trial. Like, I don't think they're gonna actually have an actual, but just quick
kangaroo court.
Yeah. It's like we don't have time for this.
That's what the Great Hall of Winterfell is known for, just kangaroo courts. Littlefinger, now Jaime.
Yeah.
I think this one ends differently, though.
Yeah, so Daenerys, obviously, the connection there with her father, the Mad King, and Jaime, and that being the king Jaime betrayed. They were talking about how her brother used to tell her stories about the man who killed her father and how they would, and the things they would do if they ever met this man or something along those lines. And... yeah, you could see why Daenerys... I mean, the narrative of Jaime, and obviously the audience has a different perspective because we've seen his run throughout the series, and obviously that character turn, that change in perspective, and now he's many people's favorite character, but you gotta think a lot of the main characters don't really know this about him besides maybe Tyrion in this instance.
Yeah, and Brienne. And it's interesting that Bran's in the room as well. And Bran, yeah.
Yeah, he knows fucking everything.
This guy, Jaime, just can't catch a break. Even when he's trying to do the noble thing, he goes to Winterfell and he's in the Great Hall and everybody's staring directly at him. He's in the center. You have the Unsullied, you have the Northernmen behind him. But it's interesting because Daenerys' look on her face, she does look still vengeful towards Jaime. Mm-hmm. And it's similar to Sam in the last episode. It's, I know what my father was, but that's still my father. Jaime did play a role in Daenerys having to be exiled, and obviously I think her father played a much bigger role. So
yeah, you could say that.
There's also a moment, too, where Jaime looks back at Daenerys, and he doesn't look very concerned, but then he looks off to the right, and it's interesting, too, with Bran's positioning that he's separated from the 3 pseudo-judges. Mm-hmm. So there's a moment where he looks to the right, and you could tell it's Bran because of the fur coat, and he looks shocked. So I was saying in the last review that maybe Bran is going to defend Jaime, and that's what brings that look on Jaime's face, that Bran lies for Jaime's sake, because maybe he's seen into Jaime's future. He knows that he's going to do something significant. He knows that they need him. Or it could be Bran saying, remember when you pushed me out of the window? Jaime's like, dude, we just spoke about this. He said you weren't going to say anything.
You look beautiful that night.
You look beautiful.
All right, come on, Bran. Stop telling people they look beautiful.
Right. It's funny because he's only said it once, but every fan uses
But in my
that
head,
line.
I feel like he's used that multiple times.
And then I think he'll maybe give like a breakdown. It'll be
Yeah.
like a Jaime season 7 recap video. I'm Bran Stark. Subscribe to my channel. Like and share.
I could see maybe, when Daenerys was questioning Tyrion's loyalty about his old family, or still his family, but
Yes.
the Lannister family, I can see maybe Tyrion vouching for Jaime and Daenerys having that back and forth reunited from last season. So I could see that being a part to play. And you'd imagine Jon and Sansa don't have the highest regard for Jaime because the Lannisters send their regards to their brother.
Right. And Sansa's look at Jaime.
That was pretty good.
That was great, honestly. I'm sure people are going to comment
Just
about
sat
it.
right in my head.
It's amazing
How
how
it
that
works
happens.
sometimes.
Yeah, you're like the Bran of the show, but with quips.
The Lannisters send their regards.
But Sansa's look towards Jaime, she doesn't look as vengeful as Daenerys.
Yeah.
It almost looks like she's trying to hear him out and see what he has to say. And you made the point, too, in the last episode that he's coming alone. He doesn't have an army, so what does this man have to bring? I can't imagine, like you said, that Jon holds Jaime in the highest regards, but I don't think he's going to be necessarily against him. I think he's going to be impartial to all of it. That's how Jon Snow is. He's very fair. He's going to hear him out. He's going to hear both sides. What's more interesting is Tyrion, and how Tyrion is being pulled with his allegiances, because, like we said, Jaime is essentially Tyrion's best friend.
And also with Sansa, too. There was some overlap when he returned to King's Landing and before Sansa fled. And she did spend a lot of time with Tyrion, so she might be willing to take Tyrion's word. Or maybe she's seen some stuff off screen, or she has an idea where, hey, just Jaime Lannister, he's not that bad.
After we get through these shots, there's a moment with Daenerys, Varys, Tyrion, and Jorah, and she kind of walks off, and later in the trailer, she's in a room by herself, it looks like. So this could be Daenerys contemplating her decisions. It could be maybe she's learned about Jon Snow's parentage and she needs a moment alone. Or it could be they're trying to advise her against whatever decision she made for Jaime Lannister.
You think she's going to take the mindset, like, whatever she says goes, or will she have, like we've seen with Tyrion's trial, where there was 3 judges? Obviously, Tywin positioned them so he would get what he wanted out of it. In this case, we have Sansa and Daenerys, who haven't really seen eye to eye so far, and Jon, who's kind of caught in the middle of that as well.
I wonder if they're going to formally call this a trial.
No,
No, but I think that's actually could be meaningful if they say this is the trial of Jaime Lannister, or if this is just him arriving. Because, like we said, it could be kangaroo. They're all positioned. It looks like you have the judges, and you look like the defendant and the plaintiff.
Well, the crime would be for Bran, because technically
And Cersei's treason. We have the head of her army.
Yeah.
She's not coming. Thank you for... It's almost like Blackfish, when Blackfish was like, would you like to resume your captivity?
Yeah.
It's like, thank you for surrendering to us, Mr. Lannister.
Because I was going to say
Enjoy your cell.
it's not for killing the Mad King, because he kind of got pardoned by Robert, but Daenerys wasn't in the fold
like you said,
at that point. So maybe she could be using that too.
If she makes the final decision, if she says, Jon and Sansa, I'm still queen, even though that's why these laws are so muddy. She's not technically Jaime's queen, but she does have the most power in this position. I think Jaime does get locked up. And then he gets freed during the battle. It's like, oh, the Night King is coming. Yeah, let's just free him.
Sorry, I'm trying to help.
Well, there's an interesting moment, too, with, there's a moment between Daenerys and Sansa where Daenerys says he never should have trusted Cersei. Now, this could be Jon or Jaime, but I think it's directed towards Tyrion, saying that my hand shouldn't have trusted him. And Sansa says, conversely, you trusted her, too. So that's also on you. You're the queen. You make the final decision. You allowed him to make this deal. And then the next shot is Daenerys looking over at Sansa, and she doesn't look angry. She looks shocked almost intimidated by what Sansa just said. Sansa's in a position right here where she looks very confident, like maybe she passed a judgment or she disobeyed one of Daenerys' orders.
And in Daenerys' defense, too, I mean, she trusted Tyrion, not necessarily Cersei at that point. So.
Right. But Sansa in this season, that's why I love her. She's very unforgiving.
No, and that's...
It's like the buck stops with you, queen.
Yeah, and that's kind of the natural progression of her character, seeing all the stuff she's been through and all the people she's learned from. She's not really going to back down on what she believes, even if it's Daenerys. And I think there's a respect factor there. Maybe like Daenerys was a little shaken up because she's probably expected Sansa to be more accepting of her. In the first episode, you see it kind of bothered her, but now just getting used to that character and kind of respecting it and maybe seeing a little bit of what she would do in that situation in her, there could be an understanding that they have, and there can be not necessarily best friends, but just a respect factor.
I think they become buddies in this episode. I think it gets fast forward real quick.
She starts riding Rhaegal now.
Yes. A whole new world. And in this shot, we have the Northern soldiers and we have some wildlings, and they're running. And it's interesting, too, because in the trailer, we saw this battle happening in the nighttime. And we see it in this preview video as well, that it's the beginnings of that battle. So I wonder if there's going to be an initial attack from the Night King's army. 20 good men. He sends Ramsay resurrected.
It seems like they're kind of getting ready. Obviously, they're bringing the news of what they saw at the Last Hearth, and I guess they probably passed them, right? Because they said that they're in between them and Winterfell.
Yes.
So they probably hightailed it off. They probably maybe even saw them, the army, maybe did a nice loop around, and they're kind of just like, hey, they're right here, so let's start getting ready. I don't necessarily think the battle, per se, is going to start. The Battle of Winterfell, the one teased to be the biggest ever. Obviously, there's not enough time in this episode for that to take place, but we could see the beginning.
Right. And that's what it looks like at the end of this video. There are shots of them on the battlements, and it is nighttime. And in this moment, we have Gendry, and he's still working like the hungriest blacksmith in the Seven Kingdoms, out there just banging shit and making shit. That's what I love about Gendry. Doesn't ask questions, just does what he's told, looking snackalicious. You think he makes Valyrian steel in this episode? I don't think so. I don't think there's enough time for that. The complications of making Valyrian steel, too.
They kind of just set up the Dragonglass so far.
Right.
I theorize maybe Bran would go back and check it out, but it could be.
Well, there's an interesting picture we're going to look at later where Bran is in front of a weirwood tree, so he might be warging into the past in this scene, or green-seeing into the past. Jorah pulling out Heartsbane, and that's cool. That's going to be a nice moment between him and Sam, where Sam, it's yours now. Give it to your children after you.
You're really giving me your family sword after my queen killed your family?
Well, I wonder how long Sam is going to hold on to that. His resentment towards Daenerys for killing his father and brother. I think he'll be able to...
Sam's very practical.
Yes.
Hey, there's a huge threat here. Jorah's probably a little better than me at swinging the old sword, so...
Yeah, I'm not really in the best of shape, not in my prime. I'm not Season 3 Sam. If I was Season 3 Sam, I'm keeping this sword, big brother.
Yeah.
But it's going to be cool to see Jorah have that weapon, and maybe it stays with House Mormont. House Tarly he's in the Night's Watch now. I guess the Night's Watch kind of doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would go back at the end. And this is a moment
That'd be fucked up after all this. It's like this gruesome battle.
Still in the Night's Watch.
And they finally overcome everything, and Sam's like, finally I can take a breather, enjoy the fruits of our labor. John's like, well, what are you doing here? You're supposed...
Ollie.
Takes his head.
Bring me my sword. Lyanna.
It's like, Sam, I'm sorry, but I'm honor bound to kill you.
And this is a moment that fans have been anticipating. And I think in this scene, it's Daenerys and Jon in the crypts of Winterfell. I think in this moment, Daenerys has learned about Jon's true heritage. And we talked about it, too, that's going to drive a wedge between them, because we don't think Jon is going to be somebody who wants the crown, who wants to be king of the Seven Kingdoms. But at the end of the day, you had sex with your aunt.
Yeah.
And the funniest meme of the entire weekend is when somebody wrote, Jon Snow found out that he was having sex with his aunt, and his first question was, are you calling Ned Stark a liar?
Yeah.
That was amazing, whoever tweeted that out. But yeah, it makes the relationship very awkward, because the customs are different. Customs are really different throughout the entire country, unless you're Cersei and Jaime. Cousins, yes, but aunt and nephew, that's a little strange. And they also
Not for Targaryens. That's like...
No, but I'm saying from Jon's perspective.
Oh, okay.
Saying, should we continue this? Daenerys, in the books, she says, if Rhaegar lived, I may have been... Or if Rhaegar's children lived, I may have been his bride.
Well, not too late.
Yeah, for her, it's fine.
Definitely see Jon having a problem. Just with everything. That's a heavy set of news to be dropped on you. Like we said, he never wanted to be Lord Commander. He never wanted to be King of the North. He doesn't want to be... You think he wants to be King of the Seven Kingdoms? No. And yeah, throw the aunt on top of that. Well, she kind of already threw her on top of him. But,
yeah, they were
hey-o.
topsy-turvy. Top and bottom.
It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts, how Daenerys reacts. Like we said, that so much of her character is set on she's the rightful queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Now here comes Jon, so it's probably not the easiest conversation to have, but probably has to.
Arya's looking absolutely souped up in this episode. All the weapons that she's going to have. She's got the bow and arrow now, it looks like from this shot. She's got the Valyrian steel dagger. She's got Needle, which I'm pretty sure how do you even use Needle in this situation? But she's got her little contraption her little detachable spear that she's having Gendry build. I'm so excited to watch her fight because I feel one of the best scenes from Season 7 was the moment where she spars with Brienne. Just the choreography, the training that she's gone through, where she can switch between different weapons. I'm so excited to see her fight, to see her use these abilities that she's gained over the seasons.
It'll be funny to see if, like, in the middle of the big battle, she, like, kind of Grand Theft Auto style, she just changes between weapons without moving.
Everything pauses and she goes
yeah,
through
it's the pinwheel.
Yeah, it's like just picking. She had a timer. She only has like 10 seconds to pick.
Yeah.
And then we have Tormund arriving in Winterfell and warning Jon, saying that they have until tomorrow morning. And we see catapults. I wonder if they're going to use some sort of... I'm assuming they don't have wildfire, but they might just...
Regular fireworks.
Regular fire, right, yeah.
They have dragons.
They have fire arrows,
I don't know if
stuff like that.
You can do, like, dragon glass fucking balls or whatever, like spikes on them. I don't know.
And this is a great shot, too. We have Jon, Ed, and Sam reunited for the first time since Season 5. So it's been 3 seasons since these characters have been all together. And it's similar to the Battle at the Wall in Season 4, where they've gone through this before. They're all standing on the battlements, and we see the shot from behind them. Ed's in the middle, so maybe Jon gives him command.
Yeah, I was going to say, what the hell is yours, Ed?
He gives him his Stark coat.
That'd be funny if every title Jon ever gets, he just passes off
Passes it to Ed.
Yeah.
That's funny, yeah. Ed's king in the north now. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's how it works.
I'm anticipating that's going to be a very heartfelt scene, just to see these three friends back together, the 3 survivors of that original crew. Just a moment of reflection. Maybe we'll get like a Pip reference and a Gren, and we have the Jorah stutter step. Ooh, on the horse. Just have to throw that in there. Missandei and Grey Worm, I think this is their final kiss. I think Grey Worm is going to be one of the major supporting characters, if you will, who bites it in this episode.
In the episode or in the battle?
In the battle. Well, yes, not in this episode, but in the battle. I think this is their final moment together.
Yeah, that'd be sad.
We
talked about the relationship. You got to think all the Unsullied have these dragon glass spears. It's interesting too. I wonder how many White Walkers we're actually going to get, because if you have everyone with dragon glass arrows, spears, the whole 9, and there's only like a few of them, then you would think just aim for them, right? But just the way they're prepared and the way they seem to have Gendry working overtime 24/7, I would expect a heavy showing of the White Walkers.
Well, at this point, the White Walkers have to be smart enough to know that these weapons can kill them. They have to, at this point, know that if we get hit with one of these things, we are going to disintegrate into ice. So maybe there's some sort of armor that they're wearing or shields.
They're just fucking decked out from head to toe.
You can only see their eyes.
Like Lord of the Rings, you only aim for the eyes and the arms.
I don't think we'll see that, but I hope we get like 20 White Walkers in this battle. I mean, the Army of the Dead is going to be difficult enough to kill them, and the revelation that Dragonglass can kill a White. So you can't be resurrected, I'm assuming, if you're a White and you get stabbed with a Dragonglass arrow or knife, which is a significant advantage for the Army of the Living. So they have to counter that in some way, and I think we'll see that. And in this moment here, I think it's a continuation of the scene from earlier in the video where Daenerys walks past Tyrion, Varys, and Jorah, and it looks like a moment of reflection where she's just closing her eyes. And this can be in a number of things. The weight of the world is on her shoulders. And I like this. I like to see Daenerys more vulnerable because I thought the writing for her in Episode 1 was a little inconsistent, not necessarily true to her character and to her nature. Jorah says it in the earlier seasons. She has a good heart. So these things, she's just not made of stone. These things are going to weigh on her, and I'm interested to get into her mindset going into these next couple of episodes.
No, I mean, every big decision she's ever made, whether you agree with it or not, I don't think she's ever, at times, she's very stern on her decisions, but other times she does like to reflect, and she wonders if she did the right thing, and if she is doing the right thing. I don't think she's careless in any of her decisions. I think she thinks long and hard, and some of the more egregious ones do weigh on her.
Yes, definitely. And we have a moment where Jon Snow is looking up, and he looks shocked. This looks like the arrival of Tormund coming to Winterfell. And then the final shot of this trailer, it reminded me of the moment in Season 2, Episode 9, the Battle of the Blackwater. Tyrion, the Hound, the Pyromancer, Hallan, and Joffrey are on the battlements overlooking Stannis' army. This time, Tyrion's alone on the battlements, and he's got the Unsullied behind him, and the camera pans backwards. And we speculated, too, what is his role going to be in the battle? Does he have some sort of master plan to defend against this army? Does he have another wildfire moment? That would be cool if they have something planned for him where it's Tyrion just using his mind. Once again, he doesn't have to be out there fighting. He can strategize.
Hey, maybe we'll get the chain, some kind of dragon glass chain.
Imagine, yeah. Just something cool
to
make up for the lack of the chain. He's got a peach? No. I'm still mad about that peach. Yeah, and we also have some episode 2 images that were released in anticipation of the episode. And this first one that we're looking at here, Jon and Arya. Somebody brought up on one of our videos in the comment section that Jon still sees Arya as an innocent little girl. Even the moment where he says, "Have you used Needle?" Once or twice. He's like probably picking her teeth or something like that. She's the most badass fucking character in the room. So I think in this moment she's going to show Jon that I still love you, big bro, and you're still my favorite, but I'm Batman.
Well, Jon seems to be leaning on something, maybe a table. They have the map out, just planning the battle.
I have to say, I just love Arya. She's just the fucking best. She's such a little badass. But yeah, they're planning something.
Okay.
they're planning something. And it looks like Daenerys, Varys, and Jorah, it's the same scene, right? Yes.
Even the Tyrion one, too.
Yeah.
So
he's cooling.
They're probably all sitting around. They're kind of all looking, Varys, Daenerys, and Jorah at the same area.
I wonder if that gets brought up in this scene. Sam, Daenerys, a little tension there.
Yeah, so probably all looking at Jon. He's probably planning out the battle, and they're like, "Are you sure, Jon? I don't know.
We could do this, or we could do that."
Tyrion's looking. He's probably like, "Okay, I see you, Jon." He's taking a sip of his wine. He's leaning back.
That's an album cover right there.
That is an album cover.
That's the Imp's Delight.
Wow.
Parental advisory. And this moment between Grey Worm.
It's got to go platinum, right? No features.
Platinum in a fortnight. First, no features.
Yeah.
First Lannister to do that since
I think Land the Clever when he still cast
Land the Clever. That boy was a problem. We need to make a Land the Clever video because he's the man.
I know nothing about him, but I just know he's sneaky as fuck.
Yeah, that he was just like hiding in the walls, like being like, "Boo, it's haunted," and they were like, "Ah, it's haunted."
Sunday and Grey Worm.
Missandei and Grey Worm. This could be them probably just a scene of maybe them discussing those looks that they were getting about how they are outsiders in this foreign land.
That dagger kind of just looks like a normal dagger.
Yeah, it looks like a normal one. Maybe. Could be a dragon glass.
Yeah, it doesn't look like
the Unsullied outfits look great.
Yeah, they're definitely geared up for winter. Got the winter fits.
Wow, look at Davos cooking nerd soup. And Sansa's eating it like that's some good soup. I mean, right?
Thanks for the plug, guys.
Yeah.
Bowl of brown, you think?
Bowl of brown? Oh, well.
That's what he's feeding Gendry. That's what he's living on. Working fucking 24/7. Bowl of browns.
Just feeding him brown. It was my brown!
Yeah.
This moment here with Bran looking creepy as hell. I hope this is when Daenerys is having that moment of reflection and then she's, hello. What the hell? It's right behind her.
Yeah.
And Bran with the weirwood trees. That's what I'm interested in. That's what I'm most interested about in this episode. I think Bran he's been my favorite character so far just from that first episode because I want to see what this guy knows or what he's going to try and figure out. His role, I think, is going to be more significant than any other character over these first 3 episodes.
Yeah. And we've talked about it before, that maybe there's a possibility that he's able to take people on these visions with him.
I hope so.
So they can actually see. But I'm not sure that works. But yeah, every time Bran's next to a weirwood, you know shit's about to go down. It's like you're plugging in, you're ready to go, and we're going to see something here. Could be the Valyrian Steel, maybe. I could be going back to the first Long Night, seeing how they defeated the White Walkers. Could just be more about Jon's heritage. There are a number of different ways you can go here.
And this shot, it looks like the scene with Sansa and Daenerys. And it's nice. We always say it's nice to see Daenerys smiling, enjoying her time. In that first episode, when they go on the joyride, some people criticized it. But it was a nice, lighthearted moment before everything goes to shit. I think that's going to be the last time Daenerys and Jon are ever happy in their lives. Or for the rest of the show.
Jeez.
No, but to be that happy, where it's not that was just pure joy.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing on their minds but the love that they had for each other, the comedic moment with Drogon. So it's always nice to see Daenerys smiling. This shot.
I don't want to be at the other end of that fucking grill, man. That shit's brutal.
She has to see. This is the most fan servicey thing ever.
Yeah.
She has to see the Night King. Stone cold. I don't want her to blink. I want her to just... And then he kills her. No.
Oh, jeez.
No, but I want her to see the Night King.
She looks geared up, though. I mean, she did say every every man, woman, child on Bear Island will begin training last season. So when some of the Northerners kind of questioned Jon when he said they needed women and children to help fight, because they're going to need to have everybody. And Lyanna Mormont was the first to be like...
Wait, who was the one who questioned her?
I hope they fucking take... What is it, Deepwood Mott?
Yeah.
I hope they fucking... I don't know. I don't have a map in front of me. I hope they go... even if it's out of their way, go to Deepwood Mott. Fucking level that whole house and then come.
Lord Glover will stand behind the Night King.
That ruined the best speech.
One of the best speeches.
One of the best
Not the
speeches.
best.
Top five. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Gilly.
yeah, she looks ready to go. So that's
Who, Gilly?
no.
Gilly looks ready to go
Liana
to bed.
Mormont.
Yeah.
She was the first one to say, "Yeah, let's go. I'm ready."
Oh, yeah, she's always ready. And our first shot of Gilly, we didn't see her in the first episode. Such a sweet moment, too, with Jon and Sam, where Sam is all flustered and Jon says, "Is everything all right with Gilly? Little Sam?" Such best buddies.
Yeah.
But to see this picture of Gilly, it's cool. And to see the moment with Sam, Gilly, and medium Sam, he's getting a little bigger there.
Yeah, he's like 4 now.
Right. Kids aging
His aging
phenomenally.
process. Yeah.
He's like Wolverine.
Nice head of hair, though. Good for you.
Yeah, he's always had the sick lettuce.
Yeah.
Not better than Rhaego, though. Rhaego had the sickest lettuce in season 2. That vision.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be a nice moment,
Nice moment before everybody dies.
Yeah. Maybe he sends them away again. But Gilly's probably like, "No, you sent me away." Like,
I want to see one character just have a heart attack.
what?
Just randomly, like a random death. Like
just from the sight of the Night King?
No, just randomly, like in the middle of a conversation, just a natural death in the show. Just like,
Aemon kind of.
Yeah, Aemon had the natural death. Nobody dies naturally in this show.
It's fucking medieval times, man. What do you expect? Die from a fucking splinter.
There's always somebody being stabbed and shit, or burned alive. Poor Ned Umber. All right, so episode 2, getting ready, man. This Sunday. It feels like an extended Christmas right now. Just feels different being in the middle of Game of Thrones. Feels good.
Especially since it's the last season. You kind of like gotta ingratiate yourself every moment, every discussion, every video you can watch, even other channels. That community is just...
Are you planning a coup?
Yeah, I'm working.
You're an insider, huh?
Yeah, no. But no, I'm just saying...
All Shift X has enough subscribers, dude.
No, I don't think I can get in with him.
No.
That's too ambitious. Littlefinger, probably. But yeah, just everything going around, everyone talking about it, all the videos and content that's out. You just try to get into all of it, and it's going to be a hell of a 5 weeks. So
that's what I've been doing. I've been watching everybody else's videos and commenting, be like, "Oh, you guys are the best."
Forget to use your burner account.
It's just Nerd Soup.
Yeah.
Commenting on Talking Thrones. "You're the best, man. I love you."